The CGI in Netflix's Avatar remake is genuinely incredible. The fight choreography slaps. Watching Aang airbend in live action is everything 6-year-old me ever wanted. So why does this feel so wrong? After watching the second season, I realized that somewhere between the original and the remake, these stopped being the same characters and this stopped being the same show. Zuko doesn't have the same moral code, Toph doesn't sense the world in the same way, even Azula's entire trauma might just not make sense anymore. And this isn't to say that the show is bad, but it's just not Avatar The Last Airbender. It wants to be, but it's just not. Many remakes struggle to match the original, and I believe it comes down to two key factors: how the industry approaches remakes now and how we as fans experience them. So let's just start with the industry side because they ruin everything. We all know that Netflix doesn't have the best track record with adaptations. Its signature dialogue feels repetitive, blunt, or unnatural because many Netflix shows are just designed to be played in the background. The remake's dialogue has faced heavy backlash for this very reason. It constantly repeats story beats as if the audience won't understand otherwise.
Zuko is dead. He died in the north. After turning traitor, you yourself declared him a war criminal.
Every time Iroh is on screen, he mentions that they're fugitives.
We are fugitives. Fugitives from our own country.
And then there's Toph introducing herself to her own mother. I've seen people defending this, but sorry, there's just no defending this. They just wrote it this way so viewers know who did what. The remake seems so determined to ensure that viewers grasp everything, so it explains everything every chance it gets. The dialogue also doesn't make sense because of the forced inclusion of memes from the original show. They had to be there even if they didn't make sense or weren't actually in the OG at all.
There is no war in Ba Sing Se.
That being said, I will admit that Sokka's humor still lands for me. His comedy works in every universe. But the dialogue isn't the only thing that the industry changed. Netflix also decided that Avatar needs to be more grown up. Many remakes add mature plot points like romance, dark themes, or even more violence to appeal to a wider audience and feel more modern. The Avatar remake is no exception. The original show's strength was its ability to explore deep themes like war, morality, redemption, while also remaining accessible to all ages. But Netflix's version just loses this balance. To give you a few examples, the cactus juice at a party that makes Sokka hallucinate feels like a heavy-handed drug analogy. Katara shares more moments with Zuko and Jet than with Aang, making me wonder, are they gonna set Zutara instead of Katang? And my boy Aang is more violent than in the original. I mean, in the animated series, he only got angry when it came to Appa and Katara's safety. Now he's just angry at everyone all the time. You might argue that he isn't 12 anymore in the remake, but Aang is canonically a goofball even when he's an adult. That's just part of his charm. And it's not just the tone that's shifted. Even the internal logic of the story doesn't hold up the way it used to. The original Avatar was meticulous. Every event happened for a reason and it had logic. The Serpent's Pass, for example, occurred because Appa wasn't there to help the refugees. Zuko didn't steal from the pregnant woman, he stole from the family that helped him because the pregnant woman was, in the middle of nowhere and would have died without the supplies. The family, on the other hand, had enough to spare. They wouldn't have starved without an ostrich horse. But the remake changes these beats and many more, to the point where they no longer make sense. Appa was present at the Serpent's Pass, so why didn't the refugees just ride him across? And Zuko steals from the pregnant woman instead of the family that helped him, and this completely changes his moral compass. The original Zuko would show mercy to someone in need, not just to someone that helped him. In the remake, his mercy feels transactional, not based on universal morals. I get that he grew closer to the family in the remake, but still they had food and the pregnant woman literally had nothing but her husband. In the original, when we see the pregnant woman and her husband made it to Ba Sing Se, we know they partially made it because Zuko decided to be merciful and not steal from them. If he did, they probably wouldn't have made it. Most of these changes just feel random. The remake seems determined to be different from the original while still checking all the boxes that fans remember, but these changes don't add any depth. They just take the characters down a different path, and often a worse one. They have no logic to me. But the change that might do the most damage isn't like a small gap in logic. It's one that could break an entire character's arc before it even starts. And I'm talking about Ursa's story, Zuko's mom. Unlike the original, when she left, she took both her kids with her, and this will 100% worsen Azula's story. Because she can't say that her mom didn't love her, she literally took her to escape Ozai and treated both her and Zuko with the same love, and even gave them gifts to remember her by. So what is Azula's drama gonna be about? It would make no sense unless they add something else, but for now it seems like it's just the original trauma that she had in the OG show, but without the backstory of abandonment and favoritism towards Zuko to back it up. And speaking of characters, remakes tend to change characters a little bit, but this remake just took it way further. Aang, Sokka, Katara, even Momo and Appa, everyone in the remake just aren't the original characters, period. Sokka isn't a backbender anymore. He fumbles his relationship with Suki so hard, and Suki herself isn't the independent badass character that she was in the original. She has her moments though, I respect that. Azula is just not Azula. She even apologized, like she would literally never do that, even if she manipulated Zuko, but okay. Her actress seems to be such a sweetheart. She's amazing, but she just doesn't embody Azula's cunning and calculated nature at all. And it's not just their personalities, but their entire identities. And Toph is the biggest example. They fumbled her so hard. In the original, Toph's entire deal is that she sees the world through seismic vibrations via her earthbending.
I feel the vibrations in the earth.
She's blind, but her connection to the earth is so powerful that she can see through it, even underground.
There's nothing here.
Yes, there is. An entire village buried in ash.
And she can feel rocks mid-air too. Sand is her weakness because it lacks the stability of solid earth, but otherwise, her blindness is an advantage. She sometimes gets things wrong because of her disability, for sure, but never when it comes to rocks. Never. So this scene right here is just useless. But overall in the remake, sound is her primary sense, not seismic vibrations.
Do you hear that?
In one scene, she's standing right next to the wall that Katara is trapped in, and takes 5 whole minutes to realize that she's inside. Original Toph would have known instantly. She would have sensed Katara before even reaching the wall. The power scaling and explanation for her exceptional bending in the original show was so well made and didn't need to be changed at all. This Toph is just slower because she relies on hearing rather than her bending. It weakens her character and her powers so bad in my opinion. But if the writing is changed and the characters aren't the same, why do so many fans still watch anyway? Well, it's because something happening on our end. We want to watch so we can defend the original because we're suffering from a severe case of nostalgia bias. It's not entirely our fault, we just prefer to overvalue things from the past simply because they're more familiar or tied to positive memories. But here's the thing though, the original is objectively better. Like the plot, the relationship dynamics, the individual character arcs, the world building, everything is just better in the animated series. Even if you watch the remake with fresh eyes, as someone who's never seen Avatar: The Last Airbender before, I think you would still notice how the character arcs and plot are inconsistent, and how you don't get deeply attached to any of these characters at all. It's like you have to be a fan of the OG Avatar to understand what's going on, but if you are a fan, you're just gonna get rage baited because it's not the same story or the same characters. It just pretends to be, it forces itself to be, but it's just not. And when the original was so good in terms of everything, really, I don't think anything can top it if I'm being honest. Is this nostalgia talking? Maybe, but it's not. It's most likely not. Anyway, let me know what you think. Do you like the remake? If you could remake the remake, what would you remake? And don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching.